Hello, everyone. This is Making Sank here, First Name Making. And today, not many more days now. How many more weeks have we got to Adventures in Marketing? It's so exciting. I am going to bring up the amazing Colin Gray, who is going to be hosting the panel that we're having as part of Adventures in Marketing. So let's bring him up to the stage. How are you, Colin?
Yeah, I'm really good. Thanks. How about you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad.
Good.
Thank you. Gosh, how many sleeps till Adventures in Marketing? It is so exciting, isn't it?
Two or three. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
That's right.
Three.
Monday, Tuesday, that's right. I had to count in my head too.
That's the too
Now,
long for it.
let's tell the world who you are. First of all, Colin.
Yeah, sure. I'm Colin Gray. I do podcasting. I help the world to podcast, I say. So I ran the podcasthost.com, which is a website all about podcasting since like 2010, and a bit of software called Alitu as well, which is a way to make your podcast to recording, editing, and publishing. So yeah, podcasting generally, that's what I do. Content marketing and more widely.
Now, one of the things about podcasting is, trying to build up your community,
Mhm.
and really connect with your listeners. Is that right? And of course, you're going to be hosting a panel that's going to be dealing with that very subject itself, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's going to be good fun actually because it's a huge part of podcasting is the community around your podcast. It's not just listeners, but they're community members, and like a great way to grow a podcast is actually to take those listeners and engage them and actually, make it more than just a one-way conversation, not just you speaking to them, but actually you listen back and you help them speak to each other and grow something around the pod that's way wider than just the podcast itself. So yeah, looking forward to talking to four great experts in community building at the conference.
Yeah, and of course, as business owners ourselves, we also, need to build a community ourselves to an extent in order to let our community know what it is we do, how we can help them, and so they can reach out to us when they need our help. So. There must be a few things that you could probably share with the listeners here today about community building and the importance of that.
Yeah, I mean, we run the community that we run most. Well, I mean, it's like the biggest one. We've had a few over the years, but these days, IndiePod is our community that does. It hosts how many 2,500 or so podcasters. Really great group of people, and I think one of the biggest things we've learned there is we've always had a couple of people involved in terms of organizing. So we've got Allegra as a member of our team who does an absolutely brilliant job of helping to kind of bring people together, spur conversations, all that kind of stuff. And we've got Lindsay as well, Lindsay Harris-Friel, who helps with that too. And then I get in there too and answer questions. And there's something really kind of, there's a balance you have to strike between being there and pushing and kind of encouraging and posting things to try and encourage people to take part, even replying to messages as well to make sure that when people do post, they get something back. But there's a balance between you doing that and kind of stepping back to allow community members to do it as well. So a big thing we've learned over the years is kind of trying to manage that balance, trying to manage like how quickly we reply to things, how often we reply to things so that we are there and we're present. But it's not about us. It's about the community members. So letting them actually start to drive it. So it's a tricky thing to find, but it's something that you can kind of intuit over time as you start to see, how your community's picking up. So it's tough. That have you had much experience of that yourself, Making? Have you had to try and facilitate a community that way?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question because I learned a lot of mistakes in fostering a community, and because I made lots of mistakes, it kind of actually scared me into
Yeah.
building one again just because of all the
Oh,
mistakes
nice.
I made. But maybe, maybe I should, reflect on the
Get
things
back
that
into
scared me the most and start building it again rather than be, consumed with all of that fear. Now, just before we hit the recorder button, we were talking about, going to events and there's a difference between community online, which is, really important. But there's nothing like meeting people face to face, is
Oh,
there, Colin?
yeah, there is. It's yeah. We try our best to make our online communities, great and engaging. And I think you can develop really strong community online, but you're right, it just doesn't beat that like face to face, pressing the flesh to use that horrible term, but it's like it's something around that, isn't it? It's like I heard this term the other day. It's like what was it? An old school salesperson said to me, "It's like you just have to get belly to belly." Like you're it's just this image
Belly
of
to belly.
being belly to belly with people. So yeah, there's just a different level it creates. Do you know what I found as well? Actually, is even just one live event. So seeing a person live just once actually makes such a difference to an online community from then on. I find like just having that little connection, it makes you engage with that person more, I find, in future. So there is something about, even if you don't do it often, even if it's like once every few years or something, it can still be a really powerful driver of an online community.
I mean, you're absolutely right, Colin. I mean, because we met face to face many years ago, and we have that big stretch of the pandemic in between, so we
Yeah.
haven't seen each other for a while. But I'm looking forward to seeing you again in the flesh, belly to belly, or I
Yeah,
should
indeed.
say,
It'd be great.
on Thursday. And it just, it's whilst you can build online communities, when people meet you, in person, it just sort of it just makes it pop for people.
Yeah.
And so for people who business owners who have built communities online, when they do run events, and you can meet them in person, it just makes it all a little bit more special, I would say. Which I'm sure you agree. Now, you'll probably have a whole host of questions that you're going to be asking,
Yeah.
some of the amazing panelists on Thursday. Now, we don't want
Yeah.
to do the big reveal, by showing all the questions on Thursday. But they are guest experts as well, in their own right in
Yeah.
building community. Um, is there anything that you're looking forward to learning from them at all? Based on
Yeah.
your own
Yeah.
experience of building community?
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a couple of things that I think are really interesting to dig into. I mean, I've got a whole bunch of things I want to go into. I can't wait to talk to them all actually. But one is the content side of things. Like I'm a content creator by background. That's what we still do these days. We just love to create blogs, videos, podcasts, all of that stuff. And I think that's such a big part of community too. Like if you can create content that goes alongside the community, that attracts new community members, but supports community members too, whether it's big, guides, blog posts, or case studies of community members, that kind of stuff. So I'm really interested to dig in and see how all four of our panel members actually use content to both grow their community, but also to, support and engage and retain their community too. So I'll be digging into that for sure. And the other thing that I always find really interesting with the community as well is the routine or the calendar or the regular events type of thing that you do with a community. Like how do you organize your, a weekly thing that happens every single week that draws people in, whether it's like a, tell us something Tuesday or a, fun Friday or something like that, hashtag like post something. And it tries to get people into a routine about posting a particular thing around something on that particular day, whether it's something like that or whether even it's like your monthly live events with guest panelists or teachers or AMAs or Q&As and stuff like that. So that's two things I'm definitely want to dig into and how people do that. But the last part, I suppose, is the uniqueness. Actually, it's the what are each community doing that's different. That's different from any other community because they're all doing really well with their communities. Every community offers like, a course, a live event, a checklist, blah, blah, blah. These things appear everywhere, but you find communities that have their own little uniqueness, something that they offer, whether it's related to their topic, whether it's related to a skill that the community leader has, whether it's something around their background. So that's what I'm going to dig into as well. Looking forward to learning more about that on all four panelists.
Oh, I absolutely love that. And I'll just put a little link below for any of you last minute Marys and last minute Marthas and Marks and all the other names. If you haven't got your ticket yet, do go to adventuresinmarketing.uk and go grab your ticket. You can meet amazing speakers like Colin, the fabulous host Nikki and Abby, the panelists that Colin just mentioned, and all the amazing speakers. Of course, we've got the incredible attendees that you'll be able to network. So if you haven't bought your ticket, as I say, come join